Good evening, sir, madam. I am Ankur Tawar and my entry number is 2021 PH10841 and I am here to present my ELL101 project. My topic is transformer. A transformer is an electrical appliance which is used to convert the high current at low voltage to the low current at high voltage and vice versa with a very little loss of energy. As we are showing in the picture, here this is a transformer. Here the transformer works on the basic principle that is called the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. Faraday's law of induction is a basic law of electromagnetism states that when a magnetic flux linked to the circuit changes, it produces an electromotive force, which produces an electric current in the circuit and continues until the change in flux continues. This magnitude of EMF induced is directly proportional to the rate of change of magnetic flux, and the direction is given by the Lenz's law. The Lenz's law states that the polarity of EMF induced in such a way that it opposes the change in the magnetic flux responsible for its production. Means it will oppose the causes which is producing the uh, change in the magnetic flux. Thus, the polarity is induced in the negative direction of that. The formula is given by EMF induced is equal to minus N del phi by del T. Where phi is the change in magnetic flux, epsilon is the EMF induced, N is the number of loops, and del T is the change in time. Here I am showing the transformer framework. In the first, there is a primary winding, and on the right hand side there is a secondary winding. Primary winding, the potential is applied at a primary winding, Vp, and we obtain a potential or the current at the secondary winding. This is the transformer core. Here, this works on the principle of electromagnetic induction. The changing current in the primary winding produces a change in magnetic flux linked with the secondary winding. Then the current is induced, and this depend upon the number of turns in primary and the number of turns in the secondary coil. The voltage and power. The voltage in the coil is directly proportional to the number of turns in the coil. As the the voltage in the primary is directly proportional to the number of turns in the primary coil, and the voltage in secondary is directly proportional to the number of turns in the secondary coil. Here, transformation ratio is defined as K is equal to Ns by Np, which is equal to number of turns in secondary divided by number of turns in primary. If we suppose that losses are zero, then energy is the primary coil is transferred to the secondary coil totally. Then from this we obtain VPIP is equal to VSIS, and which implies Vs by Vp is equal to Ip by Is. And we obtain the relation K is the transformation ratio is equal to Ns by Np is equal to Vs by Vp and is equal to Ip by Is. There are the types of transformer. There are majorly two types of transformer, step-up transformer and a step-down transformer. Step-up transformer, it converts the primary voltage level to a higher voltage across the secondary output. On the other hand, a step-down transformer, it converts the primary voltage to a lower voltage across the secondary output. In the step-up transformer, Ns is greater than Np. The transformation ratio, the ratio of turns is greater than 1, K is greater than 1. While in the case of a step-down transformer, the transformation ratio is less than 1, which is equal to the ratio of secondary coil to the turns in the primary coil. There are various losses, energy losses in the transformer. There are majorly four types. First is copper loss, second is iron or eddy current loss, third is hysteresis loss, and leakage of magnetic flux. Uh, Fifth one is magnetostriction. Here, copper loss is the energy loss in the form of heat in the copper coil of transformer. This is due to the Joule heating effect in the conducting wires. These are minimized by using the thick wires. The area of cross section increases and the resistance decreases, obviously. And the iron loss is the energy loss in the form of heat in the iron core of transformer. This is due to the eddy current are produced in the iron core, which is the magnetic flux link changes with time. This can be minimized by using the laminated cores. Hysteresis loss is the loss of energy due to the repeated magnetization and demagnetization of the core. When AC is given to it, we can say that the AC is given to it the positive cycle and the negative cycle. Positive cycle, it will magnetize, the negative cycle, it will demagnetize. And this change in the flux continues every time. We should use a magnetic material which has low hysteresis loss to avoid the hysteresis loss in the transformer. Fourth one is the leakage of magnetic flux. The flux link with the secondary coil is less than the flux link with the primary coil. As the leakage of the flux happens in the surrounding, and the total flux link with primary is not equal to the flux link with the secondary coil. And the magnetostriction is a humming noise coming from the transformer. This is also energy loss. The There are various uses of transformer. The transformers are used in the voltage regulators for TV, refrigerator, computer, air conditioner. They are used in the induction furnaces in the transmission of AC over the long distances because the power loss is majorly reduced by using a step-up transformer which converts the low voltage with a high current to the high voltage to a low current. In this case, power is equal to I square R. When power loss is reduced because the current is converted to the low, the I value is reduced very much. I decreases, so the power loss becomes minimum, and the transmission of AC is made possible over long distances economically and very helpfully. Thank you. Thank you all of you.